The World Cup is here and Black Friday is right around the corner. U4GM.com are doing an extra discount of 10% off your order if you use the code ELITE at your checkout. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. My name is Sean, aka Elite, and today we're going to be talking about this new promo, World Cup Stories, and how to trade, make coins over the next couple of days as we get closer to the promo, and then how to make coins during the promo. And that card design looks pretty nice. I really like that color of yellow. I think it's one of the more unique card colors that we've at least seen. Of course, we have the normal gold cards, but those are more tan than anything. That card looks absolutely awesome, and I'm excited for some of the cards that are coming because we already have some leaks for it. But before we get into any of that, guys, all I ask in return, if you guys do enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like. Let's shoot for 250 likes on today's video. That would be absolutely amazing. So with that being said, these are coming out on Friday. It actually initially said that they were coming out on next Friday. It was going to be starting in 9 days and 9 hours, but they changed it. It is coming out on Friday, which means that the World Cup Road to the World Cup cards and the Icon World Cup cards are going out of packs on Friday. So those might be good investments out of packs, and we're going to get into that. But before we get into that, we've got to cover our Path to Glory cards, because this was the main topic of the last couple of videos, and I told you guys in the last upload that it was about time to buy and not to wait any longer than Sunday night to pick up those cards. And I did wait till Sunday night. I started buying, and they had already started rising a little bit, but they are continuing to go up throughout this week. We start with Carvajal here, who we got for 189, 190, and 190. Those cards are up to 220,000 coins, which is great. Then on this page, we've got a couple Zacarias for 210, 210, and then if you take a look at the current squad, I'm using one of the investments in my team, so not only am I making coins on it, I'm basically using it as a loan card, and it's a pretty solid card in game. Plus, Switzerland are going to be playing in a couple days, and if they beat Serbia or draw Serbia, he will get an upgrade. Now, of course, I'm not going to risk it. I'm going to sell before that match, because what we've seen for these cards that are Path to Glory is after their match, in match day 3, determining if they go through or if they don't, it is that some of the cards are flying up and some of the cards are crashing very, very hard down. And we have seen that with every single team so far. So if we take a look at the likes of Christian Pulisic, this card flew up in price today. He's up to 83,000 coins. And if you take a look at the hourly graph from yesterday, you can see when the match was played. I think it's pretty obvious. He was going for 76K into the hype, and he actually rose into the hype really well because he was 63,000 coins, rose all the way to 75,000 coins before the match, and then shot all the way up to 86K right after USA did beat Iran. So a big rise in price there for Christian Pulisic, but I would argue that if Iran had equalized late in that game or at all in that match, and they ended up going through to the knockouts, I think that the drop would have been much more significant than the rise we see. He went from 75K to 85, 86K, so maybe a rise of 11,000 coins, and after tax, if you were to buy right there and sell right there, you're only making about 6,000 coins. But I think if they had lost or drawn that match and not gone through to the knockouts, that card would have been 55K or below, maybe even lower, and I think the risk is just not worth it. We already have some of the World Cup story cards leaked into the game that are coming on Friday, and here is the first one, Marcus Rashford, and these stats and overall ratings are just a prediction. The card or the player itself is guaranteed to be in the promo, but we don't exactly know what the card is going to look like in terms of stats quite yet. But Marcus Rashford, it's going to be a good card either way. This is 88 rated, and the stats are absolutely electric. 92 pace, 81 physicality, 86 dribbling. Not going to be a cheap card. And then we've also got Leroy Sané, 88 rated. A lot of similar stats to the Rashford, a little bit less physicality, but makes it up in other areas. And then we've also got this Zimmerman, Road to the World Cup card is actually on its way. We've also got Aymeric Laporte, who is an 89 rated center back. Looks usable, 82 pace. You slap a shadow on it, and I think that's going to be one of the better Premier League center backs that you can use in the game. And then we've also got one more of these. Just warning you, there's no dark mode on this website. We've got Virgil van Dijk coming to the promo as well, as you guys can see, with a 92 rated center back card. And of course, all the stats that I mentioned to you guys are just predictions. We're going to see the stats pretty similar to what you guys see, but there could be a couple of changes on them. So just take those with a grain of salt. But either way, you're looking at Van Dijk and Laporte in center back pairing for Premier League squads, and both those cards look very usable. I've got the gold Van Dijk. It is ridiculously good. So this card is not going to be cheap. In fact, gold Van Dijk was one of the last cards in the game to still be over 100,000 coins. And we're actually going to look at that because I think this is the earliest in the year we have seen gold cards be this cheap in the game. If you take a look at gold rare cards and we sort by price, there are only a handful of cards, there are only 2 cards left over 100,000 coins that are gold cards. It is still November. That is crazy. And of course, Virgil van Dijk is the 4th most expensive gold card in the game, so his upgraded card is going to be ridiculously expensive, but maybe worth it because his gold card is really good. Road to the World Cup cards. They are decent cards, although they aren't live. They can't get upgraded, and you can't use a potential upgrade to make profit on these, so it makes it a little bit more difficult to make your coins. But we've already seen a little bit of a rise on these guys since Monday. If you take a look at the daily graph here, 611,000 coins. He's already up 60 or 50,000 coins-ish in price, so already profit range if you did buy on Monday. I have not gotten in on any of these cards, and there are quite a few to choose from. You've got 16 different cards, and there are some that are kind of flying under the radar. This Corona card could end up going up out of packs because it is 5-star, and it's just flown under the radar throughout this week with so much content dropping on Black Friday, with the new World Cup heroes, with Path to Glory still being so relevant, and so many different objective and SBC cards. There are some of these cards that I think are going to be pretty safe out of packs, and that might be one of them right there. And then we've also got Alexander Mitrovic right here at 86 rated. And the reason I really like that investment is not necessarily because it's a super good card. It does only have 3-star skill moves. It does only have 82 pace. And although the shooting and physicality stats are off the charts, he is at discard price or fodder price for the 86 rated cards. So if we look at the cheapest 86s, he is actually the cheapest one. So he, you can't see it. So let me scroll across. He's the cheapest one of all of the 86 rated fodder cards. So if you're investing in fodder, you're also investing in a card that's going out of packs. So super safe fodder investment. Sure, it could drop like 1,000 coins if other 86s go down, but ultimately if 86 rated cards go down to 9,000 coins, Mitrovic is still going to stay at like 15k. But if 86s go up to 18,000 coins, Mitrovic will fly up with them. So that is why it is a very, very safe investment to go with there. However, my cards that I really like right now are actually the best of team of the week cards, because although they have started rising a little bit, they're still very profitable at this time, because you can see after these cards went out of packs, the first time, you can see this card was 178k, and it chilled at that price for a little while at 180,000 coins. Now it's down at almost half of that, and sure, it has recovered a little bit. How high are we going to get in terms of getting closer to that 180,000 coins? Now, at no point am I expecting this card to actually reach 180k again. However, we are going to see a little bit of a recovery, because due to all of the supply that has come out during Black Friday, these cards have tanked in price, and ultimately they are still ahead of the power curve in terms of gameplay. It's still a very usable card, a very linkable card. So when do we buy? Do we buy now? Are they going to continue to rise? Or should we wait until Friday when the new promo comes out and see if that brings down some of the cards? And to that, I think both answers are yes. I think you're going to make profit either way. We're probably going to see a little bit of a dip on those cards on Friday, and pretty much any cards on Friday. You definitely don't want to hold anything in to a Friday promo that is in packs, but these cards will be out of packs by then. And on top of that, they are very usable, very good cards, and we've seen how much they've sold for before the Black Friday crash. Now, are these long-term holds? Probably not, especially as we get closer to January when we see the Team of the Year market crash. That's going to see everything dropping all over the board, and so we don't want to hold until then. But over the course of the next week or so, we can see this card, which is 109,000 coins, you can probably get for 105 or less on both bid and snipe. I've already got one for 100K, and I really do believe that this card could easily hit 120, 125, even 130. And so that's the case for pretty much all of the current Team of the Week cards. And the most popular of all of them looks to be actually Valverde, which was in Team of the Week 1. So a card that was super rare and quite expensive, not so much anymore. Theo Hernandez is the second most popular, and then we've got Ousmane Dembele, who I've actually got in my squad untradeable now due to packing him during the Black Friday promo. But another card that has crashed big, he sold for... he even had a recovery several days after he was out of packs, recovered from 196K, went all the way to 247K. I think that was actually due to the explosive buff in the game. So explosive players became a little bit more overpowered, and that's why he went up in price. But 240,000 coins, 217, and then Black Friday hits, goes down 105,000 coins, and he's already made somewhat of a recovery. I think he continues to go a little bit higher. So if you're looking for some profit, I think Team of the Week cards from Best Of are still safe investments, and they could go even higher. So that's my take on those, and we've actually got a couple of packs to open, and hopefully we can get one of them, or maybe we can get a Road to the World Cup card, or maybe we can get another one of the World Cup icons, which we actually did pack in the last episode, a World Cup icon. And if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out, because I've never packed an icon before, and I've been playing this game religiously for over 10 years. So that was the first icon slash legend I've ever packed in this game. Is anybody getting tired of these World Cup cards in their packs, by the way? I really just do not see much use for any of these in my club. I'm just collecting them so I can get the bonus at this point. Is anybody else in the same boat as me there? Because please tell me I'm not alone in the fact that I think that these cards were not a smart addition to the game. Mega packs normally treat me well. Give me something. No special card. English. Center attacking mid. Mason Mount. Not what we're looking for. Final 35K pack. Give me something decent. It's not a special card again. It's going to be Matsumo's 84. Come on, man. Now, the next thing I want to talk to you guys about in today's video is going to be ones to watch cards, because they have started getting upgrades based on getting wins in the World Cup. And Nunez is from Uruguay, who have not won a match in this World Cup yet. They are struggling a little bit, and it comes down to this final match down whether he does get that upgrade or not. And we've seen this card has been one of the most volatile cards into the hype all year. If it doesn't go in his favor, he crashes, but every single time he recovers into that hype. And so what we're seeing is, as we get closer to the final match day for Uruguay, which is on Friday, I believe, we are going to see him continue to rise in price. In fact, he's already up in price to 154,000 coins, it seems. So a huge rise in price already, and I just bought him a few hours ago. I expect him to continue to go up because, as you guys can see, he rose and rose and rose and rose into the hype of the World Cup, and then Uruguay did not win their first match, and then they didn't win their second match, and he went down in price a ton because everybody had invested, anticipating them to at least win a match in this World Cup, but unfortunately, that has not been the case. So it comes down to their match on Friday on whether that happens, and it doesn't matter for me whether it happens or not, because you guys know what I'm going to do. I'm going to sell on Thursday night or Friday morning, and I'm going to take my 30K profit and I'm out of there. I'm playing it safe. Now, if you guys want to take a look at World Cup Path to Glory or ones to watch upgrades, you can actually see them on Futbin, and we've already started getting a couple of these upgrades so far. So Bernardo Silva has gone from 90 to 91 rated, and in previous promos, in previous events in which we know that a card is going to get upgraded, a lot of times once it gets that upgrade, it will crash in price. But Path to Glories are different, and the reason for that is because every single time they get an upgrade, they have a good chance of going and getting another upgrade. And so that holds their price up while they get that first upgrade. So it is a really safe investment for a lot of these cards after you know that they're going to get out of the group. So Koulibaly, for example, might not be a bad deal right now. He's currently 413,000 coins. Let's see how much more that is since, let's say, like an hour after the game. Yesterday, he obviously was going to go up, because Senegal were not guaranteed to go through, and he went 341 to about 390. So he rose about 50,000 coins, and so he is up about 20K since he won the match. He's up about 20K since he won the match, and about 60 to 70K total. So you are missing out on a lot of profit. Ideally, you want to buy right there at that 390. That's when you want to buy. Of course, if you buy here at this 340, it worked out for you, but you made a huge gamble on that card, and it just worked out for you for a little bit more profit. 390, that's what you're aiming for. So for these future days, maybe not Koulibaly anymore. Maybe his time is past. We've missed the buy time for Koulibaly. But for the next couple of days, let's take a look at some of these guys who are going to be playing, like Serbia with Milinkovic-Savic. If they end up beating Switzerland, they will go through in their group with Brazil and Switzerland and Cameroon. So if they do end up beating Switzerland, they are through. And with that being said, he's going to go up in price. And so we know he's not going to be at his cheapest point when we buy. But if we wait an hour or two after that match, we've seen it from Koulibaly, and we've seen it from Pulisic, and we've seen it from De Jong as well, that they get cheaper just by a little bit, about 2-3 hours after their match. And that's a good time to buy, because they are going to rise and rise and rise. And then once they get that upgrade, they normally don't go back down like we've seen with ones to watch cards or other upgrades in the past. They are going to stay up because they get to play another match, and that's another +1 inform upgrade. And once we start getting to those 5-star weak foot upgrades, there are certain cards that are going to be absolutely disgusting. I think Antoine Griezmann's probably going to be one of them. And same thing's probably going to go for Goretzka. This card has already risen a ton because they had a pretty fortunate match day on match day 2 with Japan losing to Costa Rica. So he already went back up in price because of that. But we're already playing it on De Jong. We've already picked up De Jong on that dip. I'll probably play the same way with Lukaku. I'll probably play the same way with any of these guys that do end up winning their game. Alejandro Gomez is no different. He's up a little bit today, rising into the hype of the World Cup match, and we'll see how Argentina do in their final match day. So keep an eye on this, and keep an eye on every single Path to Glory that plays in the next couple of days for match day 3 of the group stage, because there is so much profit to be made, and it's quite simple, really. You don't risk anything. You sell into the hype, and then you buy back any cards that ended up winning their matches and are going into the knockout rounds, and there is still more profit to be made even after those matches are over. So easy coins there with those Path to Glory cards. Anyways, guys, that's the end of today's video. If you made it to the end of today's video, do not forget to drop the secret comment of the day to prove that you made it to the end of the video so I can know who my real OG viewers are. And today's secret comment word of the day is Zakaria. Dennis Zakaria. The Swiss CDM that I have in my transfer list that I'm looking at right now is the secret comment of the day. So include that in your comment, and I'll make sure to drop a heart on it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.